a disappointment today. I woke up late, brushed my teeth with conditioner, poured milk instead of cereal first, put both feet in the same pant leg. Then I called my friend Greg, but his name's not Greg. Washed my new car with the windows down, wished on a star this day would turn around. But when I opened my eyes, nothing had changed, 'cause I had wished upon a jet plane. Days like these remind me of the time my friend set me in line. He said, one night all alone outside, everything will finally feel alright. When there's stage fright and you're paralyzed, just keep on loving, keep on loving. Then one day when you're standing in the rain, everything will finally feel okay. When there's heartbreak and your body aches, just keep on loving with reckless abandon. I feel like such a failure today. I got played, broke my teeth on some Cracker Jacks, then choked on a gummy fruit snack, wore a sweater my cat peed on, then I sung the song wrong. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I asked when the baby was due, when there was no baby in you. I'm sorry I can't read social cues. I'm sorry, you're sorry too. Days like these remind me of the time my friend set me in line. He said, one night all alone outside, everything will finally feel alright. When there's stage fright and you are paralyzed, just keep on loving, keep on loving. Then one day, standing in the rain, everything will finally feel okay. When there's heartbreak and your body aches, just keep on loving with reckless abandon. Abandon.
Hey, thank you so much. Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. My name is Grace Hayes, and I love people. I believe in the power of individuality. Everybody's got such a unique, irreplaceable, incomparable presence going on. So, I got a question for you. Have you ever met someone that by standing next to them, you felt a little bit braver? Or maybe they don't have to say a single word, but their presence is just calming to you. I have a friend that whenever I'm around her, my soul feels like it's sipping on chamomile. By her simply being, she's bettered me. And I find it curious that we can oh so easily agree that beauty fills everyone, but are quick to believe that we are somehow an exception to that rule. Now, self-doubt is no stranger to me, because I, like a multitude of artists, struggle with something called imposter syndrome. And that's a little bit like looking around your workplace and going, whoa, I don't belong here. Everybody knows what they're doing but me. They got it all figured out. And my business cards are a photo of myself with the body of a llama. Yikes. Imposter syndrome is considering yourself to be a very strategic mess. If we thrive in a specific field, we figure we're just winging it, so the validity of our hard work is undermined in our own mind. You deny that you had a role in any of your achievements, figuring you took a back seat to luck, chance, and people who are none the wiser to your shenanigans, but they're on to you. Soon, you'll be outed as a fraud, and the facade of your accomplishments will crash and burn. Because it's psychologically easier to dwell on our shortcomings, we're unable to internalize our successes. Now, coming back to loving people, I wouldn't question the impact of my friend's music or art, yet my internal narrative tends to go, Grace, what are you doing? Talking jive, writing chicken scratch? Your ideas are just as discombobulated as your hair. My actual thoughts are a lot meaner, but I'm trying to keep this talk PG. Maybe you can relate. Have you ever judged yourself through other people, superimposing what you think about you into someone else's head? It's going, I believe that about me, so it must be blatant to this guy that I'm that. When in reality, your flaws aren't even crossing homeboy's mind. Consistently questioning yourself and how others view you is detrimental to living your truth. Being you, not the you think the world wants, but the you that you want. Existing in a state of not enough is paralyzing. So, how do we return to our truth? When I think of people who are true to themselves, I picture children and the elderly. They are the epitome of not caring what anybody thinks. So, I'm a child voice coach. I teach 4 to 10-year-olds, and if I were to go up to one of my students and say, hey, write me a song, here's a beat. They are on it 9 times out of 10. Doesn't even rhyme, but it's beautiful. They're singing about their pets, their mom, green beans, what have you. Complete artistic freedom. Turn around and ask an adult for a freestyle, and the results are usually something like, why? What about? I'm unprepared. Let me check my Google Calendar. I'll get back to you next week. Kids are naturally transparent, and we are afraid of looking silly. Keep in mind, looking silly is not the worst thing that could happen to you. So what's the deal with these being yourself bookends? The way I see it, when you're little, you don't know nothing about the status quo, and no one's told you that you're wrong, yet. So we get older, grow in societal and cultural understanding, and we are pressured into conformity. Don't act, think, or do anything differently that'll set you apart. So we pursue normality, pursue perfection. And by the time we're older, we are exhausted from this chase and wise enough to know that those constructs don't even exist. So we return to freedom. Consider this. If there's no such thing as normal or perfect, how come we're running headfirst into these unobtainable goals and beating ourselves up over coming short? Freedom begins when you start disassembling lies that you believe about yourself. For example, when I was younger, I hated my hair. I straightened it every single day and finally asked, how come? And I figured, okay, growing up, I was told curly hair is ugly, straight hair is pretty, so if you got some waves, I got some bad news for you. So I believed it. I don't anymore, but that's why it's so important to evaluate what you're feeling, identify why, and dismantle the lies. So we all know that the media portrays very narrow standards of beauty. Not a lot of hair, skin, and body types are widely represented. You see beauty articles entitled, 15 celebrities who shouldn't be confident in a bikini, but are. Actual celeb clothing sizes that'll make you feel better about your own body. Well, first of all, confidence is not a commodity. We're not born with a static sense of self in direct correlation to how society will value us. God doesn't look down at babies in utero and go, this child will grow up to be a conventionally attractive male with a favorable socioeconomical background. X amount of confidence for the rest of your days. And oh, this kid's going to grow up to be a frizzy songwriter who spills copious amounts of coffee on herself. That look about right, Gabriel. X amount of confidence. That doesn't happen, right? Self-confidence is not a ration. Also, it's not rational. It's strictly emotional. There's no logic or reasoning behind it. That's why you can be incredible at what you do and simultaneously believe that your work is worthless. And that's why 5-year-old me made one weird-looking sculpture out of hot glue gun blobs and thought that was my best work. Now, you may be wondering, who gives a 5-year-old a hot glue gun? Well, my parents. They are in the building today. I just wanted to say, Mom and Dad, thank you so much for allowing me freedom and creative liberties at a young age, albeit dangerous ones. Coming back to self-confidence, it is a variable, not a constant. To me, it's tidal, like creativity, an ebb flow, a daily struggle to tell myself my input is valuable and pursuing my truth is worthwhile. I admire people who can provide advice from a place of completely overcoming self-doubt. That's not me, though. I cried in a Chili's thinking about giving this talk. But actively dealing with a problem isn't sad, it's just real. Victory is not just for those who had. Victory is for those who have. It's for people who have overcome and are overcoming. Here's a crazy idea. Be nice to you. You're doing a great job. Take time to congratulate yourself on your killer personality or shoes. Allow yourself the space to feel, whether that's feeling proud or bummed about your performance. As long as you understand you're not your performance. And you don't have to force positive affirmations on yourself if you're not feeling it. If looking in the mirror and going, "You're great," feels disingenuous at first, start small. Meet yourself halfway with self-talk. Instead of immediately going, "I hate myself for missing this deadline," find a middle ground like, "I feel like I let my team down." And when it's right, work towards positivity. Something like, "I know that I'm capable, I love my heart and how much it cares for my coworkers, and look forward to going above and beyond next time." You've got that same something that you see in others, but it's your own. Don't question it. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is waiting for someone to give you permission to be yourself. There are so many things that need to be said that only can be said with a life and how it's lived. Don't deprive the world another day of the gift that is you living your truth. With the amount of sadness that fills the world, we can't afford to hold hatred in our hearts, not even towards ourselves. So with that being said, I want to talk about, give you a poem. This is a poem I wrote. It's called Voices, and it's about loving yourself and loving others. And it goes like this. I'm not the only one who lives in my head. Civilizations stretch wide across synapses, rich culture, vibrant ancestry. Find me between foothills of false dichotomy. Political anomalies, autobiographies that read, we shy away behind online anonymity. Painting our brother to be the enemy, you see these stings are similar to those of sea anemones. No conscience nor consequences in high tide. Come low, it's time to hide. Where the current of emotion surges, you will see carnal urges metastasize, discriminating with whom we empathize. Two vital organs demanding, pick a side. Frequencies playing contrasted, distinctly dissonant tones, we find comfort in the belief that we are not alone, that we will be well received by strangers on the streets. We would like to believe that permanent aspects of our composure will not perpetuate a ride on this nightmarish roller coaster we never asked to get on in the first place. Have you ever looked fear in the face? When you listen to your own thoughts, who do you hear? If it's just you, you are partaking in the highest form of vanity. I'd go as far as to question your sanity if you do not hear voices other than your own. Voices that cry no, not in my home. Voices behind hard-working hands rough from shaping this land into a sanctuary for our peers. A safe haven, as it is in heaven, speaking, you are welcome here. Voices that chill and gnaw at your bones. Voices that only martyrdom could compose. High-pitched, shrill shrieks of those that orchestrate the conjugal fate that justice seeks. Voices that still speak long after assassination attempts of silence. Each word trembling with a depth that is known violence, but they speak regardless of what they see. These voices set emotions, a movement, a motion into motion. Like the waves of the ocean, Each drop of love, each drop of peace, rippling far beyond the peak of eternity. Voices that instill bravery. Voices that see that the future is more than just me. Are you the only one who lives in your head? You get more than two choices. Beyond you, beyond me, there's us instead. You're crazy if you don't hear voices. Thank you.